Hey everyone, it's me, Joel D. In this video, we're going to talk about customizing and personalizing your WordPress blog. We're going to do that by adding that new logo you created. We'll add your colors if you didn't yet. We're going to make some structural changes to some pages if you want maybe a right-hand column for links. Maybe you want to create some widgets for your pages. We just make final customizations so we can go ahead and also in this video just connect all our pages together. So now that we are up and running, we had that nice starter template to get us going. We're starting to build our necessary pages. We're going to want to link and connect everything together so it's just a really good user experience, and then the fun stuff happens. So we're really going to sum up our module here for our initial build, but now the fun stuff will happen once we're done, and we'll be able to build our site out with our own content. We'll be able to monetize our site. The more interesting things, in my opinion, are going to start happening after this video. So we want to make sure that we tighten everything up. It's good to go. It's sound from a back-end structural perspective, and then we can start really enhancing our site and making it ours. So this is the initial drive for personalizing it and customizing it. It's going to be an endless process of tweaks and turns as you go on, but we do want to set the stage at least initially, so again we can start building out portions of our site and being in a good position to do that. All right, I switched over to my WordPress dashboard and I'm going to go down into Customizer, and the first thing that I want to do is add that logo that we just created. So I'll go down into Appearance, click Customize, and again that's going to bring us out to our Customizer, and we'll wait for that to load. And as that loads, there's going to be two different ways that we can add our logo. One is we can click right on the little edit icon next to it, or two, I can just go right into the header, into site identity, and you'll see that there's some logos here, and there's a couple different options. So there's the regular logo, a retina logo for a different display, and then also an optional mobile logo. And you'll also notice this little blue areas notifying us that the logo on this page is set from the transparent header section. Please click the link below to customize your transparent header logo. That's just saying when there's a transparent header page like this, you see how it's just part of this section, and that's why we didn't see it when we were editing in Elementor. So whenever this is the case, they're telling WordPress here that they want to use a different logo, meaning the generic logo or the default logo has this purple in it, but they don't want purple on brown, so they add in an additional transparent header logo, which is right here, that has white font, so it just sticks out more. Again, it's kind of an unnecessary complexity, and we actually added that white into our logo as well, so we could either change that and make it a different color, or we can just deal with it, which is fine. So I'm going to probably just stick with the white so we can go through that, but I do want to give you a heads up that that's what this is telling you. All right, so if I scroll down here in site identity, you'll also see that there's my site title and tagline that I can change, and also I can select a site icon, which I do want to do because that'll add that little icon into the tab here within your browser, and it just gives you a little extra brand recognition. So I'm going to head back over real quick to Canva and take care of both of those issues. First thing I'll do is I'm going to grab this white area because I'm already on my logo, and I'm going to click on the text color, and I'm going to add that purple color. I don't really care. Purple's not used too much in the site, so if it's close enough, that's fine for me. So I'm going to take this, I'll change this just to remind myself purple, and I'll download that the same exact way that I did before, but now I have a purple one. and I'm just going to basically replace everything that is being done when that template got imported. Okay, next I'm going to take my icon. This is the icon that I want to make as my, see how Canva does it, Wix does it. I want to make a little icon for that. So I'm going to go up here and click on File, Make a Copy, and this will make a copy here. And I'll name this Avicon Dog Nerve. And what I'm going to do is just take this, I'll resize it and make it a square again. So it doesn't really matter, 350 is fine. And I'll click resize. Now I'm just going to get rid of the text and I'm going to make this a square. And I'll go up until there's that crisscross right there. That means it's perfectly centered. And I will download that as well, and I'll make that transparent. And simple as that. Now all I have to do is replace what was in here. I'll click on site identity, and first thing I'm going to do is change the logo for my transparent header. So I'm going to click customize transparent header because, like we said, you can see the normal logo has this purple in there, but the transparent header, because there's a dark background, there's a logo that has white text. And again, transparent header is this whole section. This is the header, and it's all transparent. You can see it's just the background of this image. So I'm going to click customize transparent header, and now you can see that white logo. This is typically checked to add a different logo for a retina display, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to uncheck that. So all I have to do is replace one logo. I'll click on select image. So there's two ways to do it. Select the button here or click on the logo itself. And what I'm going to do is upload a file. And I'm going to upload all of these at the same time because you don't have to do this separately. This is just my media library, so I just highlighted all three that I just created. And now I have my icon. I have my purple text logo, and I have my white text logo. And in this case, we're going to use the white, so it's already checked. I'll click choose image. It's going to update automatically. And there you have it. That's the new logo, but I don't like how small it is, so I'm gonna increase the width. And it was a 300 pixel wide logo, and I'll do like 280 maybe. There we go, that's good. So here's my new logo for the transparent header. Now remember, this is all optional. You don't have to have these two different logos like we're doing right now. I'm just following the designer of this template, and this is what they've done, so I'm just following along with that. You could just use one logo across everything. In that case, you would just uncheck this box and it would use your default logo. But anyway, we're gonna go with this. So we updated the transparent header logo. Now I'm gonna go back to site identity, and I'm going to update these logos. First thing I want to do again is I am going to uncheck this. I don't want an additional logo for a retina display. That's fine, especially for now. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this logo, and I'm going to select the purple text logo. Click select. It's going to offer me to crop this, and I don't really want to crop it too much. I'm just going to keep it as is. Click cropping, and now this is going to update. You're not going to see a change yet because we're still on this page with the transparent header, but if I were to go to a different page, like who we are, I can see here's the new logo because this isn't a transparent header. This has a white background. So I'm going to again use my use the different size for this. So I'm going to go down and click 280 again. And there we go. So now on non-transparent headers, I have the purple showing, so I don't have white because that white wouldn't show on this background. And then on a transparent header, which is my home page, I would have the different logo. All right. Next, I'm gonna add this optional mobile logo. So I'm gonna say when we're on a mobile device, I want just my icon to show, my icon logo. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna click this button. We've already imported it, and I'm gonna use my icon as my mobile logo. Choose image. Now what I can do is click mobile here just to get a preview. And I can see that my icon is just showing. So if I'm on a tablet, we'll see what it does there. And that's still mobile. So I have a icon logo instead of my normal logo. And I can increase the size if I wanted. So say I wanted it to be 75. See what that looks like. I could do that. 75. I don't like that on the mobile. I actually would probably go smaller. So maybe 50. And that's fine. Now I will remove my head and we'll do one more thing, and that's add our site icon. So I'm going to click here on site icon, which we don't have one right now. I'm going to click our icon that we created, select. This is cropped properly. Save this. And now our icon is set. So when we refresh this page, this is what in this tab up here our icon will look like. So let me do that. I'm going to click publish. And when this is loading, I'm going to click F5 or just refresh my screen this way, and I should be able to see that. So let's just click refresh. Here we go. And there we have it. So now we have our icon, which is our dog face. Now to quickly recap what we did for logos, we changed our transparent header logo right here. We changed our regular header logo with the purple text. We added a site icon, and we also added a mobile icon for the logo. And we made all of these edits in the header area. Site identity, this is where we added our regular logo, our mobile logo, and our site icon. And then for transparent header, we can come back and we would do that through the transparent header section, which is what we did here. And now that we have wrapped up adding our logos, we're going to now get into menus. So I'm going to come back to desktop. And the first thing I want to do is adjust our primary menu to match what we have for all of the pages that we've added since the last video. And there's two ways we can get there. One, we can hover over the primary menu and an edit button will come up, or we can come back over here and click on primary menu from the header section. So if we were just logged into the customizer, you'd click on header and you could click on primary menu. So I'm going to come and click here, and you'll see that it doesn't change because this is where it would bring you. You can also see that there is a last item in the menu option, and you can choose none, which would remove that button, but I kind of like the button, so I'm going to keep it. And I can also hide this last item in the menu on mobile, so we'll decide that later on what it looks like. But I'm going to change the download app to what our first monetization strategy is, which is consulting. So I'm going to add a consulting CTA here. So when someone comes to my site right away, they'll know that I can provide consulting for them. And then I'll click publish. Now you'll notice sometimes it takes a little while for this consulting link to go back to a button. So sometimes I'll just come here, click none, and then come back and click button again, and usually it appears. I don't know why it does that, but it's a little finicky, so just a heads up there. And then what I want to do is I want to add the button link that will go to my consulting page, and then I have the option to open it in a new tab. So if they were to click on this button and I wanted them to go to a different tab and remain on this page, I can do that here. But this button area is a little different than most of the areas within WordPress, where if I type in consulting to get my page, it's not going to automatically show me that page. So I actually have to hard code this one in, and I'm going to do that by just looking at the editing page. So if I were to go to my WordPress admin and go into the pages section and click edit, it's going to bring me to this generic editor, and I can find that permalink right here. So I'm going to right click this and copy the link address, come back over and paste it in here, and then I'll click publish. And as you can see right now, we haven't set our links to be SEO friendly. We're going to do that when we get to SEO. So just remember, you're going to see just page IDs at this point, and that's okay. And as soon as we change over to a different structure for our URL structure, this will always be associated with the new name. So we'll get into that later, but for now we're just going to keep this as is and click publish. All right, and now unlike our editor pages, like when you're in Elementor or on the generic editor, you're never able to click on buttons and actually navigate, but within the customizer you are. So I can actually test this. So I'll click on consulting now and make sure that it goes to my consulting offer, which it does. Now, before we get to making any edits to the links within the primary menu, there's a couple ways to get there. For one, we don't edit these through primary menu here. You're going to want to go and click back. Here's one way to get there. Click back, and you can go to menus down here. And then I can click on my main menu, which is set to primary menu. And here I can make some edits to the menu. So as you can see, this is the order, home, who we are, services, get in touch. I can add items. I can add this as the footer menu as well, but I'm not going to do that at this point. And there's also other areas in WordPress where you can make changes to your menus. So I'm going to show you those. I'm going to click the X button here, and it'll always give me this if this isn't the latest published piece. So I'm just going to click cancel, make sure I have all my changes in place, click publish, and then I'm going to click this X button again, and it's going to bring me back to my WordPress dashboard. Okay, now when it brings me back to the dashboard, I'm going to go into appearance down here, and here's another way we can edit our menus, and we can actually add extra menus if we wanted. Say you wanted a menu somewhere else on your site that wasn't your primary menu or your footer menu, you can do that through this appearance area. So I'll click appearance or hover and click on menus, and you're going to see something similar to what we just saw, but it's just in a different area of the site. So here I can again rearrange the menu. I can make sub menus by moving things over, and depending on what pages we created, that's how we'll determine how we want to set up our main menu. And then I can add things. So if I wanted to add sample page, for instance, I can say add to menu. It'll come up over here, and then I can adjust it as needed. I'm not going to do that. I don't want this here, so I'm going to click remove. But this again is just another area of where you can make edits to your primary menu, and also, like I said, you can create new menus here as well. And also, while I'm here, you can manage the locations of these menus from this panel. So if I were to click on this link, you can see that our primary menu is set to main menu, which is what we've named this menu right here. It's called main menu. If I go to manage locations, that's currently the menu that we're using, and it looks like our theme supports 2 menus, and it allows you to select which menu you want to put where. Next, I'm going to show you the header, footer, and block section. So from appearance again, we're currently in the menus area. Now if I click on header, footer, and blocks, it's going to give me the 2 options that I've created, and right now there's just a site footer. So I can click on that and show you exactly what this looks like, and it's going to be opened with Elementor. So I'll right click on that, open it in a new tab, and essentially instead of editing your footer on a page, you can edit your footer within Elementor header, footer, and blocks, and it's just going to open up and just show you the footer only. And the really cool thing about this tool is it just allows you to have a really unique and well-designed footer as opposed to just a normal, regular, clunky one with links. This one allows you to, have puppy dogs hanging over and everything. And it really just gives you a lot of flexibility, and I mean, you can be really creative as opposed to other tools where even when you do have some flexibility, it's very structured. This one gives you free reign to do what you want. One thing I noticed here is I have an outdated site icon, so while I'm here, I'm also going to show you another feature of the header, footer, and blocks tool, and that is if I make a change here, it's going to make the change globally across my site. So I'm going to take this icon and I'm going to add my icon in here, and the sizing and everything is already set, as you can see, to 50 width. So it's just going to automatically, no matter what the size is here, it's going to shrink it down to what we have here. If I wanted to increase that, I could. If I wanted to center this, I could. I'll just keep it as is, and you'll see when I click update here, this is going to update my footer globally. So if I come out here now and I refresh, I should be able to see a new footer for all of my pages, which will include that new icon, and I can make as many changes to this footer as I want. And here we go. So very cool option. Like I said, this looks great. It's not plain Jane as a lot of footers are. It gives you that nice flexibility to be creative. Now let's go back here and update and customize and personalize the rest of our footer. So I want to have an email address in there so someone can contact me quickly. It's always good to have an email address right in your footer because it just is one less click and it's always available for your users. So let's just say we're going to keep hello, and I'm going to change the name to dog serve or dog nerve, sorry. And I can also either keep this phone number or I can remove it. In this case, I'm going to delete this. Now you're probably wondering, how did you just put hello@dognerve.com? How do you have that domain? And the quick answer is Bluehost offers this for you, and it's free, and you can create an unlimited amount of email accounts. It's pretty amazing. A lot of hosting services don't allow you to do this, and a lot of people miss it even who have Bluehost, because I'm going to show you why. Right now I'm going to create this email address just like you can do. So I'm going to head out over to Bluehost, and what I'm saying is sometimes Bluehost or other hosting services, they're trying to almost dupe you into paying for email services. And the reason why they do is, one, they're definitely partnered up and they're probably affiliates, or they're getting a kickback on who they sign up. But when I click on email and office, because they give you your own little panel and you're like, oh, get Joel at dognerve.com. But if I click on see options, they bring me to these payment services, which I don't need. Most of the time, you're not going to need this unless you really want to use those productivity tools that they have. What you can do is go to advanced, and this is my hack around this, because you're not going to utilize, especially in the beginning, if you just want to legitimize your business, have your own domain within your email address, you're going to want to do this instead. Click on email accounts. You have unlimited access to create your own email accounts. So as you can see here, the little infinity sign, unlimited available email accounts. You've used 0. So I'm going to click create, and now I'm going to put that hello in. I'll add a password. I'll click unlimited for storage. You even have unlimited storage space. And then I am going to click create. And there you have it. I have hello at dognerve.com. Now, the thing with this is you have to manage your email here. So if I click on check mail, it's going to bring me out to this area where I can choose the webmail provider that I want to use, whether it's Roundcube or Horde. It doesn't really matter which one you use. But what you can do is, if you don't want to keep coming in and checking your email with webmail, because it tends to be a little clunky, you can set up forwarders. So you can set up autoresponders. So if you have like a support email and you want someone to, you probably see this all the time. If you contact support, you'll get an autoresponder that says, we've received your request, give us 24 to 48 hours to respond. You can do that here. You can set up forwarders. So if you don't want to come to this webmail box every day, you just want to be notified if someone's emailing your account, you set up a forwarder. And that's what I usually do, where if I click on forwarders, I can add a forwarder. This is how easy this is, where I want it to go. So now I'm saying anything that's sent to hello at dognerve.com, send it to my address. So I could just put in my personal email address, click add forwarder, and you're done. It's that simple. Same thing with if I were to do an autoresponder. I could put in add autoresponder, and this is where you would just enter the information. You could, and then you click the criteria of what you want to send. So this would be for anything that's sent to hello at dognerve. You probably wouldn't want to do it for this, but if you had like a support, your instant autoresponder would be what I'd mentioned. Subject, thanks for your inquiry. Body, we'll get back to you in 24 hours. We've received your request, something like that. And that's all you do. It's that simple. So now you have the ability to, one, be more professional and legitimize your business with a domain that looks professional and it looks like you're legit, instead of just having a Gmail or something account. And you now have the ability to even further the process of efficiency to get it directly forwarded to your email address, your personal email address. So then you'll know you got an email, and you can go out to your webmail and respond from there. Super helpful. And again, as you go along and maybe you're going to start reaching out to people personally, you can add your own name. So a lot of times when I do this for myself, I'll create a bunch of emails right away, so I don't have to come back, and I can always reference that. So if I wanted, I'm just going to create support. I always use the same email address, which probably isn't the best, or I'll use auto-generate it from LastPass, but I'll create a few of these. Usually I'll at least do support and then my own name. So and now I'll do Joel. So I know if I want to be professional and I want to contact someone that is, you know, especially when we get to the point where you're going to reach out to individuals for guest blog opportunities or backlinks, you're going to want a professional domain email account. So another thing that's very important is email marketing tools require you most of the time to have a your own domain email account, because they don't want you getting spammed, and Gmail accounts that come out of email marketing tools typically go into the spam folder, and it makes you look bad, it makes them look bad. So there's a lot of reasons you're going to want to do this, and don't get duped into paying for it if you don't need to pay for it. So now I have an email address, and this is now active within my hosting account. I'm going to go ahead and remove powered by. I don't need to be powered by anything right now, so I'll delete the column, and then I'll just center this. And that looks a little better to me. What else do we want to do here? I'm going to pull this under, so that here are your social links. When we sign up for our social accounts, you're going to be able to come in to your footer and anywhere else we put your social links. And all you have to do is put the link to your account in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, or whatever other ones you want to add. You can actually add Pinterest and other things like that. To do that, you would click add item like I did, go to icon library, and then find the icon, because almost everything is in there. Pinterest, I'd click that, insert, and now I have a Pinterest button, and I would add my Pinterest page here, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to exit out of that. We're going to leave this alone until we get to our content strategy module. And one of the first things I like to do is create social accounts so we can actually share our content once we're live. And that's why I also wanted to create a logo. So we'll have that on here. I'll probably just use the icon as my profile picture on all of these, again, just for some brand recognition and sharing our content, building a following, and leading them either to those sites to connect, or those social sites leading them back to your blog. And this is the importance of this course, because your blog needs to be your central hub. Facebook shouldn't be your central hub. Twitter, no social network should be. You should have your own blog going forward. That should be your central hub on monetizing, on creating and passing out content to your audience, etc. Everything should funnel through your blog. Now I'm going to head back out to the area for my menus, and I'm going to start adding the pages in, structuring our primary menu and our main menu into what we need it to be, and linking things accordingly throughout our pages. As a reminder, we've already placed this main menu into our primary header menu. So anytime we make an update here, it's going to automatically update on our website. We don't have to go out to any of our pages and actually save anything afterward. All we have to do is go to Appearance, Menus, make some edits here, and this is our main page to make those edits, and everything else will get updated automatically throughout the site. So if I wanted to add this consulting page, for instance, which we already added that in our header as a button, but just let's, for an example, add this to our menu, and it's going to come up at the bottom here. And now I click Save Menu. If I go out to any of my pages, it'll have that once I refresh, which you can do here. I'll reload, and it should pop up here. And it should do this on every page, unless you specify a different menu. Let this load, and here it is. Now, what you can also do within the menu field, or the menu page here, you can create submenus. So if you remember, I talked about potentially making consulting the main page, or the main link on my primary menu. What I could do is take services and add that under consulting, and all I did was move it from here, which was up here, dragged it down and then over, and you can see that this will become a sub item. And if I click save and then come back out here and refresh, I will now have a sub item for my menu, and it'll look something like this if it decides to load today. No. So here we go. Now I have a little carrot here, and here's my services. So just a way to get familiar with this menu is everything you do, anything I add, I can add anything into this menu too, not just pages. I can add posts, custom links, categories, WooCommerce endpoints, pretty much anything I want you can find here. If I wanted to, have a link that linked out somewhere, I could do that. But most of the time you're gonna want your main static pages in there. And then sometimes if we want a section maybe for our best articles, like if we went to our competitors, if I remember correctly, the John's dog, let's actually go out to this. So if I go out to johnknowsdogs.com, he had articles here, and if you hover over it, he has like his first 5 articles, or probably his best 5. It could be his only 5 for all I know. I'm not positive. I haven't done a complete breakdown of his site, but there's 5 main articles, and these are definitely his main traffic drivers. So we could do something like that. I tend to just put the blog on my page, so I can add the blog, our blog landing page here, and then when you click on it, it would go to that. Or I could do blog where it would go to that, and then put my 5 best articles underneath. So another example of that would be if I were to, I'll keep that as is, say I added a new page to my menu, and I'll just use sample for now. I could add sample. We'll call this, if I drop down, I can rename the navigation label, and I'll say blog. And then I will add a post. I only have one post right now. It's that fake article, which is Hello World, but I'll add that into the menu as well. And what I can do is take this and make it a sub item of blog. So now it would look something like this. So now I should have home, who we are, get in touch, consulting, with a sub item of services where you can go directly to services instead of clicking on the CTA, in which I have for consulting. Or I could go to blog and then list some of my top blogs underneath, and a lot of blogs do that, and it's a pretty good practice to do that because it gets people not only to visit your blog on your site, the landing page, but then when they see your top items, and those are the ones you want people to drive to. Say you have 100 blogs, you're not going to necessarily want to direct your audience into all 100. Sometimes you want to guide them in the right direction. Again, user experience. You should have the data behind all your blog stats, and we'll get into that later. And based on what you're getting the most engagement with are probably the ones that you're going to want to highlight more. So if I come back out here and F5 will refresh my page. Apologies for the length of time. And now I have consulting services, blog, which I could click on, which I didn't set that yet, but or I can click on Hello World, which will just bring me to my my blog post. Okay, let me head back over to my menu, and I'm going to clean this up a little bit. One, I'm not going to add consulting again. I do like that as the button as opposed to this setup. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to keep services there because I actually want people to click services too. I mean, the consulting offers highlighted, it's a button, it's more visible, but still, if they want to see services at this point, I want to show them what we offer for services and who we are. I prefer about, just shorter. Ooh, not about. All right. And I am going to, let's see, keep this, maybe contact. So I'll add contact. And now I have blog. I'm going to keep this here, and I'm going to move this up one. Actually, I'm going to move this up two. So I'll have home, about, blog. Actually, I'm going to remove home. I never really care for having home because my logo always links to home, and that's usually more active than people actually clicking home. So I'm going to remove this as well. So I have no home anymore because my by default to WordPress will have your logo linkable to your homepage. And I'm going to keep about, blog. With my articles, as I start creating them, I'll switch this out, and we'll do that obviously when we start building our content out. I have services in contact, and my button is going to be the consulting offer. So it's a very easy setup, and it's very straight to the point. The main drivers of traffic aren't going to be these static pages at all, obviously, nor is the home page. It is all going to be, I mean, where I'm focusing on getting traffic organically is from these blog posts that are going to be filled in here. So that's where we'll be optimizing our blog posts for SEO, and we're going to be optimizing them around the primary keywords that we found, and then we're going to determine and strategize how we want to create those articles, because those are the ones that are going to get found in Google search results. So we want those to have monetization built in. So whether they're reviews or our product reviews specifically, or a ranking list, or just a generic informational article that incorporates a lot of knowledge but also has some affiliate links built into the content, we can figure all that out as we go along. But this is how we're going to bring traffic to our site. We want people to see these pages, and within these pages they're also going to see our consulting offer. We're not going to be trying to drive traffic to our about page, especially, you know, from Google or even our services or contact page. We're going to really be driving them to these informational articles where we bring value, and then we're going to try to capture their interest. We're going to try to capture their email, and then we're going to set up some forms in a way that we can get email addresses, because we want to really be building on our email address list. That's going to be our biggest asset going forward. And again, like I said, in the interim, we also want that consulting offer nice and visible at the top right, where we could bring in some revenue before this SEO kicks in and we start getting organic traffic. So let's go ahead and save this menu. And when I come out to my example page here, I can see that the menu has been updated. It's about, it's very simple. I got rid of home. There's about, this is linkable to my home. I have blog with my article, and our top 5 will live here at first. This will not be clickable. It's just, at first it's just going to show our top articles here. Services, which will come to our services page, which is this. Contact, which is just an easy contact us page for any information. Consulting, which will bring us to our consulting page that can lead back to services if they want to know more, and they can also schedule a consultation. But what I really want you to focus on, and I'm going to do this throughout our course even when we're building content, is user experience. So what I want to walk you through real quick is, I mean, this is the lamest article in the world, so it's hard to visualize this, but imagine that, because we're going to have a nice page layout for this blog. There's going to be awesome content on this blog post. We are going to have it pristinely operating for SEO. So our on-page SEO is going to be spot on with the primary keywords that we found are lucrative. Now just bear with me for a second and close your eyes. Think you're on Google and you're searching for ways to help your dog's anxiety. And our SEO friendly page comes up on that page one of Google and they click on our link. Okay, now open your eyes. Pretend this is an amazing structured page with content that is super helpful for your anxious dog. As soon as you land on this page, when I've been talking about fine-tuning everything, I'm talking about how clean and easy it is for the user when they get to this site. So first, our title is going to be geared exactly for the search term that they're looking for. Next, they're going to know it's about calming their dog's nerves or anxiety. Then, if they want to learn more about us, they can do that easily by clicking about. If they want services, we offer that. If they want to contact us, we offer that. If they want consulting, we offer that. 3 things right in a row where we can engage with them. Next, if they wanted to learn more, we're not going to send them to a path of blogs in a landing page form. We're just going to offer them our best blogs, and they're going to happen to be our first 5 at first, but all of our articles are going to be really valuable for anxious dogs. All of them are going to have monetization built into them in not a way that's super salesy, but bringing value first. And then also within these pages, we're going to incorporate opt-ins for them to sign up. So if they want to stay up to date with how to keep their dog less anxious, just give us your email address. Within our email sequence and email marketing program, we're going to give them, again, awesome value, but also incorporating subtly our monetization strategies or affiliate marketing. So do you see the power there? It's super simple. It's super clean. They're getting exactly what they want. They know exactly what we're about. They can contact us easily. We have offerings for them. Again, awesome content to help their dog be less anxious. They can scroll down, comment, or connect with us on social media. And we're not sending them down these rabbit holes to nothingness. So this is exactly the scenario we need to think about on everything we do with our site, and that's how you're going to build that blog up to be a powerhouse. And before you know it, it's gonna grow exponentially, because people are going to be way more engaged. They're going to be way more likely to opt into your site, into your niche. You're going to have awesome monetization strategies that we're going to find. Your content is going to be amazing, and you're going to be able to basically just lay out your voice to these people and give them insight, give them value, and in return, they're going to be loyal customers for a long time. So stay on track, don't overcomplicate things, and you'll be just fine. We're making great progress. Hopefully your site's coming along as usual, and we're making your site personable. We're making it yours. It's in the niche that you want to be, that you enjoy, that you have experience with, that you're passionate about, and everything else is going to line up perfectly. So I don't want to go too much deeper into changing colors and that kind of stuff for customization. If you want, just a reminder, you would go to your customizer, and to get there, it's in your dashboard under appearance, customize, and it'll bring you here. Just click on global. You're going to see your typography. You can change your base typography, your headings here, your colors, your base colors, which are here, and this will change it throughout the site, so you don't have to worry about going to every page and making the updates. This is all based on these base colors, except for your logo now, because this is obviously static and not dynamic. So if you did change your colors, you'd probably have to change the colors of your logo if you already created one. What else? Container here, so you can make it wider. If you wanted your layout to be not boxed and you wanted it to be full width, you could do that, which I do that for some pages. I haven't got to any that needed that, in my opinion. I kind of like the look of this for this template, so I haven't done that, but you can do that. And then for your buttons, same thing. You can change the colors, the padding, etc. All right, let's recap what we have gone through in this training session. Now, first, we wanted to customize and personalize our site. That was our main objective. We did that by changing out our logo. We did that by changing our menu. We did that by adding this consulting offer. We also changed our footer. We learned about our social links, etc. And we created a mobile icon, or mobile logo, I should say, and a site icon. And it's just looking more like ours as opposed to that generic template. I want you to really, like I said, personalize this more. I'm doing this. Obviously, these videos take way too long if I am doing everything, so I don't want to have to, go through the entire thing, change every image in here, but I do want you to look through every intricacy, every page. You shouldn't have 100 pages. You should have about 5 or 6 pages, so you should fairly easily be able to go through them and maybe make it your own. Maybe add, if you're a great designer, maybe your own images. Look for images that meet your niche. They're gonna give value. The same thing with all of your content. So while you're going through that and you're kind of personalizing it and customizing your pages, start to focus on the content. That's our next module right after this one, is strategizing our content. And we're going to need to look at every single page, figure out what we need from a static page perspective, as well as basing our blog posts all around the keywords and the primary keywords that we found during our keyword research, those lucrative keywords that we know can make money because there's people in that market that are spending money. And we're going to shift all of our focus on those articles because these are going to be the main drivers. But we do want to create a good experience throughout our site. So every static page should be crisp, not overdone. Figure out what you need for content. Go into Elementor, adjust anything that you don't need. So if I don't need any of these sections, remove them. It can be a lot even simpler than these pages are. So again, we did our logos. We didn't do too much. We didn't change these colors. I like the brown and orange for myself. You could change your colors if you want to do that. Not super important right now. Again, content is king. You'll always hear that. You saw some of the ugly sites that we looked at from a competitive standpoint, and they're probably crushing it. So stick with it. Stick with the plan. I think we're in a great spot now. We've tightened some things up. We're up and running. We're getting a better understanding of how WordPress operates and how easy it can be. Maybe I've gone too fast. If I'm going too fast, I'm trying not to. So if you have to, just pause while I'm talking. I know there are portions of this where I will talk fast. Sometimes when I get excited, I talk faster. So just pause it and follow along step by step. You're going to get your site up. It's going to look great, and we'll be able to start generating traffic and generating revenue as soon as we can get this content up. So looking forward to that. I hope this was helpful. As always, reach out if you need any help and engage with us. Ask questions. Go on our Facebook group and just ask away, because we want to help out and we want all of our members to kind of become a family and help each other so we can all be successful. All right. Thanks, everyone. And I will see you in the content strategy module that's coming up. All right. Thanks, everyone.